That's okay, that's fine, yeah. Mm, the, damn it. Why is the gradient not moving with it? Oh, hey, nice. Well, I've never had that happen before. Woohoo! Good progress. Today on this, I'm just gonna put some more, little things. The little part where the barcode would go. A lantern, maybe? If it's in a tent, I just don't know how big the tent is. I'm picturing like a camping tent. Could be a circus tent for all I know. Hmm. Carnival tent. Like a booth, sort of? Like a cupboard booth. Or like... What does a carnival tent look like? Okay, a bit bigger. like a little fake barcode. Hmm. Hmm. I think I know what you mean. Cause like I'm trying to picture like carnival stuff, and usually for carnival stuff, I think of like booths and stuff. But I haven't been to like carnivals everywhere. I don't know where they are in different places. Guess it would be like one of the bigger ones where you have to like go inside of it. Maybe. Usually for that kind of stuff, I think about fortune tellers. I should have made a solid block and then like cut pieces out of it and erased it. I feel like that would have been easier, but whatever. Mm, whatever. Whoops, yeah, that went through the whole thing. Whoops. I actually feel like that. Thanks, I'm pretty happy with that cast shadow. Really using all my brain power to remember how cast shadows work. Generally, they're like, cast shadows are darker and clearer when they're closest to the thing being cast. And then, they get blurrier and a bit lighter farther away, depending on, like, how big it is or something. Mostly they get blurrier. Mm, it's probably enough numbers. I need this to go sideways. some cookies. Add the fucking, damn it, did not mean to do that. Kinda wanna make some Madanitos, which I've never made before, but I would like to learn how. Ew. Steal their logo. Come on. Put this like up like this. Make it real small. Kinda wanna put it sideways with the other thing. Yeah, recognize. Evan, no! What font did I use here? Botanic Bold, okay. It was, fuck, what was the name? Asari Endo. How do I get that little line over the O, though? I don't know, I just started. So... Usually I only do 2 hours. So, about 2 hours usually. I am very tired, though. Mm. Mm. That sucks, man. I don't know why she would bite her tail, but I don't know, maybe. My cat bites her tail sometimes, mostly because she seems to believe that her tail is some sort of alien entity stuck to her butt. I just want to put a special character. How do I put it with the O? Can I just copy that? There we go. It's not all caps. Isn't there a way to make things all caps? Fuck, what is it? Damn it. That's kind of weird, man. But also kind of cute. I don't know. Pistachio, what are you doing? Hmm? Cat. Cat. Man, I want to make those red bean cookies again. I got the red bean paste for it and everything. I found a recipe for red bean cookies because I wanted to see if that was a thing. Apparently it is. And I found a recipe with such really nice soft cookies. The texture is amazing. Yeah, makes sense. Nah. Oh no. That sucks. Nori Senbei. Isn't a senbei a type of cracker? Really good. If I'm thinking of the right thing. Nori Senbei would literally mean like seaweed rice cracker. Mm. Pistachio. Mm. Pistachio. Soft baby. Yeah, apparently Snakes' theater teacher, who's like a substitute, someone standing in for the real teacher who is off on like parental leave or whatever, is making the entire theater company miserable. Hmm. Like the villain. Pistachio, Jesus. Okay, it's the manga. Okay. Put the wrong logo. Right, the Kadokawa. Fuck. My cat is suddenly being very cuddly and all up in my face. Cat, oh my god. Is this the right one? I think that's the right one. Cat. Pistachio likes to rub her face all over my face and drool on me, and then she'll rub her whole entire rest of herself on my face and get cat hair stuck in the drool. And then she'll lay across my hands so I have trouble using them. Okay, yes, pet you, pet you, pet you, pet you, pet you. Pet you, pet you, pet you, pet you, pet you. Oh. Straight up grabbing this. Okay, so I'm going off the manga's labels and not the other one. Let me... Because Yen Press did the light novels for this, and then Kadokawa did the manga, so I'm doing like sort of a fake cover. It's like, you know... Cat, oh my god. Pistachio used to climb all over my shoulders, trying to be a little shoulder cat. It really helped me try to make an effort to improve my posture, because it really hurts if a cat is on your shoulders for too long. Great. Jeez, that's huge. Why is it... Damn it. Hmm. Mm. Yeah, I need to invert the colors. That's what I need to do. Alright, I'll check that in a bit. I'm trying to remember how to invert colors. I can't freaking remember. Is it one of the filters? How do I freaking... I figure it would be somewhere in here. Maybe if I just, like... No. What am I doing? No. Let me just freaking... Okay, why did it do that in the first place? It's probably because this is a PNG. Right, so... I didn't license save as a PNG. What if I fucking screenshot it instead of doing that, huh? Copy. There we go, duh. Okay. That is such a specific would you rather. Or off, I don't know. Either on or off crack or her meds. We don't know. I think, like, personally, I think the whole drinking blood thing is just really gross. It just squicks me out too much, so. I'd, in this scenario, just have to go to the other one. Yeah, I can just put these names up here somewhere. Maybe up here. Mm-mm. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Alright, okay. And then, I was considering trying to add some kind of like texture, the background. I'm not sure though. Um, mm, mm, uh, uh, okay. Mm-hmm. Think I get what you mean. I haven't seen Perfect Blue in a while, but I really like that movie. Uh, that's only like when they turn, right? So it's kind of limited to full moons. Yeah, it sounds way easier to deal with. Okay, anyway. Look how subtle that is, but hmm. Woohoo! Actually, I really like the difference on this one. Okay. Slightly rougher texture on the other buildings so they don't look so, like, smooth. One more thing I want to do. Eh, okay. Texture and with the window reflections. Try to do this pretty simple. Mm. Oh, right. Can't be the same because they have the filter on. I should make that lighter. Dang it. Hydration check. Damn it. Ha, right. Okay. Ooh, cookies. Must be some complicated cookies. Or if not complicated, then, like, involved. You can do it. Good amount of cookies to have. Many, many much. Mm-hmm. One adjustment to this, which is to increase the shine level down this way a little bit. a bit better. Looks like I thought it's not getting squished so much. Right. Hmm. Okay. No. No. C. Sig. Hmm. Okay. I think this is as much as I'm gonna do on this right now. Oh, heck. Saving a large file so it has to freak out a little bit. Right, give it a second. Oh heck, I got a pistachio, you're right. It is 12. I should give you your midnight mush. Okay, well, Clip Studio is struggling to save this big ass file. I'm gonna go feed Pistachio real quick. Okay, it looks like it just finished saving, but whatever. Frickin' intermission. Get up and stretch your legs. Run to the restroom. Ah, go get a drink. Ah, okay. Back in a minute. Nice. I love it when I actually feel like cleaning and organizing stuff. Okay, so that's saved, and is that the one? Okay, now I gotta try to figure out, Jessica's commission. Jessica, if you're still in chat, feel free to, okay, pointers, okay, okay, I have to open that up again for reference. Um, uh, damn it, I have to freaking pull up that video again. What the hell is it? There's this weird little guy who I still have to figure out. Like, I gotta figure him out. That sucks, man. Yeah, I have, like, part of my problem is that I need to put up more shelves. I was able to put up one the other day when I was in an organizing mood. I was doing pretty good. And I got busy and had to do a bunch of stuff, and now there's just like bags of things and piles of half-organized stuff all over the place, and why did they have their game set to such a wide aspect ratio? This is more that, like, because the top of this, yeah, it's still really wide. Happy Turkey Day. Let's all eat a bird. It's like the stage thing in the background. There's a part where she goes off to the side and there's people with drinks. It's honestly one of the weirder commissions I've had, but it's cute, so I love some very specific, like, OC insert fan art. I gotta start out with initial sketches as usual. Yeah, Canada's got like a different Thanksgiving, huh? Ours is confusingly like the last Thursday of November. I don't know why they decided to make it like a moving target there. It's pretty easy to figure out, but it's just so weird. That makes sense. October and November are good times for a harvest-based holiday. Nice. You said you wanted my style? And not necessarily like a style mimic of the game. Like, maybe I would just do my style, like drawing in the game style, but like, I have no idea. Uh, I'm just gonna kind of let the music of this scene play in the background. Oh yeah, I suck at style mimicry anyway, especially these lineless sort of styles. So I would not even be able to do that. I mean, like, I could try, but it wouldn't be good. So I'll put a punch bowl like by the end of these stairs that I guess were supposed to be some kind of like, was it like some sort of underground room in a college place. What does that guy look like again? This weird little guy who has like a double mask. Is that the eye that's always open? Okay. Wait. That's the eye? Wait, fuck. Do you have a reference to this guy all together or just the parts? I love these weird little drawings though with like the face. You do some good brainstorming sketches. Okay, there's one where he's all together. Okay, so yeah. It's like a creepy little guy with a very jagged half a face. Yeah, these are Cheska's character sketches. I like how he figures out just like, separating things, figuring stuff out in small sketches. Pistachio, what are you doing? You zooming? Huh? Freaking jump scared me. Yeah, I know what that's called. Damn it. I can't remember what it's called. Like, I know what it's called, but the art of, fixing broken pottery and stuff, with gold dust in the adhesive so little cracks out the pottery are gold. Mm. It only partially linked. I think it's because of the dots. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry, the link didn't work. Maybe use tinyURL or something? Oh, that's really cute. I've seen so much freaking good Night in the Woods fan art. It's a very good May. Oh, okay. I tend to go for more realism with furries, but I'm still trying to figure out how I like to draw furries. Doing the ridiculous, huge art fight attack definitely helped me figure out more about how I like to draw furries. Yay! Nice. I think I tried Finch once, but I didn't keep up with it as well as I did Habitica. Started out as Habit RPG. It's kind of funny how right when May started like badly twerking was when they cut the dancing part out. The thing that they all look up, that's really cute. Man, for a while I was playing Neko Atsume, and I was actually enjoying it. Then that phone died and I had to get a new phone and I haven't restarted it. Right now I'm just trying to figure out composition. Because this is a scene, so I gotta figure out where stuff goes first. I do really like the one where she's just wiggling her arms around in the air. Destroying them as shapes for now because dang it. I need to figure out where everyone goes. A little star, that's cute. Maggie's gonna be doing a little shimmy. And she's dancing with some wolf guy. Are those bleachers? Oh yeah, they're probably bleachers, huh? Or like, you know, like the sort of like that like tiered seating system. I guess that's whatever it is, it's kind of bleachers. Yeah, this is all for composition so far. I think it's some sort of gym, yeah. Damn it. She really is. Okay, so couple ideas. Oh no, I forgot his name already. Chuckles with a Z? Should he be, like, technically in the middle of the party but hiding from it? Or hiding off to the side while everyone else is in the party? I don't know which fits in better. Because one situation, it kind of looks like he wants to escape. Because he got stuck here under the punch bowl and everyone's dancing and he's like, oh god. And the other situation, it's like, he kind of wants to join. Okay. There should be other random people over here. With horns or something. That's okay. I could, like, send you both these bad sketches if you want to stare at them and figure out. Because I was like, because generally putting a character off to the back while everyone else is partying gives the sense that, like, well, at least to me, it gives the sense that, like, they want to join in, but maybe they're scared. And then having someone hiding under a table but being in the middle of the party makes it look like they just got stuck there. Like, they just got stuck there and they're like, oh god, get me out of this. Oh, maybe no one will notice if I just hide under this table. Oh, please, gotta go away. You know, like, looking for an escape route. So, like, if that would be more in character, then... Okay. Make everything easier on myself, I'm gonna start with individual character things, because they're all just kind of like... It's inspired by the game, not exactly the same thing. I can pretty much just all draw them, like, in a line and then move them around depending on where they need to go. So I'm just gonna kind of sketch them all out on different layers. And drawing them in my style depends on how I'd also draw these more cartoony characters. This guy's, like, really short, right? It's one of your shorter ones. You can send a height chart. Okay, so they're both very short. Chuckles is even shorter. If it matters to you, should the punch bowl table be like a folding table where it's got, like, yeah, like the 4 legs, so it looks like he's in a little cage? Or should it be like... like the kind of table that's got one pole down the bottom, so he's kind of having to, like, squish around it? Either table? The squishing. Because he'd essentially be sort of just like, well, he's very short, so I could just really have, like, kind of hiding under here. Just like, oh no, ah, geez. code. Like either he's behind the pole or in front of the pole. Maybe sort of be like... and crouched under their, like, very uncomfortable position. Really scrunkled up in there. Maybe leg wrapped around too? I don't know. Motherfucker's holding on for dear life. God, yeah, the Night in the Woods soundtrack is so good. I think I get what you mean. It's like one of those idle games where you sort of just like... It's like, unlock more potion makers, and they make more potions, and customers come in and buy them. It's just like incremental idle game kind of thing. 4, 1, 2, 3, and there's kind of jagged bit there. Nice. You've gotten farther than I have on any long-term comic plan, so you're doing pretty great. In my humble opinion. Does he have feet? Does this little guy have feet? Are those his feet? Are they just extensions of the cloak? Sleeves, something, hands? So like the cloak is just kind of like part of him. Okay, so that means the foot would just kind of come up over like this and be like a ragged piece of cloth. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, the cloak could just be like part of him. Could be one of those weird scenarios where it's like instead of a cloak, that's his fucking pelt or something. That's just part of him. That's just how he is. I love that weird sense of humor of like you think something is clothing, but then it's just like their hair or part of them or something, and you're like, what? Holy flip flop, Batman. I don't know. Having a negative charisma stat that like makes you weird looking is really funny to me. Nerd's Review Epic the Musical. Today, for most of today, I've had the sad old lady waiting song stuck in my head. Specifically because earlier today I was waiting for a long time. And they make the punch bowl be like partially empty. Or wait, I don't know. What would be better? The punch bowl be like being mostly full, indicating that the party has just started and he just started hiding under here, or that the punch bowl is like half empty or mostly empty, indicating that he has been here for quite some time, just hiding in this one space, trapped there. Non-Euclidean. A video I've been meaning to watch? Which one? There's that one I still have to watch. There's, Night in the Woods' Most Profound Question. I think I have that on one of my watch laters.
I can't bring myself to delete my Facebook account. I haven't updated it since around 2016. It's kind of like a social time capsule of sorts. It doesn't reflect any of the people I've met since 2016. Instead, it contains a roster of people I'm technically friends with whom I haven't
Not
seen
full.
in ages.
I'll make it like halfway full, and I could always change that later because it's just a sketching stage.
Even though I don't use the site anymore, I can't help but feel like deleting my account will sever the final tie I have to these people. I log on to Facebook maybe once a year, usually by accident. It never left my bookmarks bar. And every time I get sucked back in, friends and acquaintances from school, coworkers from jobs none of us have anymore, distant family members I met at a wedding once maybe, people I haven't thought of in years, they still post. Well, some of them do at least. How much have their lives changed since the last time we saw each other? How much has my life changed? We don't need each other to keep living. Night in the Woods is a game that has lodged itself into my soul. It is a beautiful, story-driven
Multiple cups on the table from people setting their cups down.
Long-term friendships, the reverberations of history, family legacies, religion, mental health. But it does so with an emotional honesty and unmistakable snark. And I don't know if I've ever related to a story as much as I relate to Night in the Woods. Even though the story flirts with some profound ideas, not that much really happens in it. Yet, the characters are forever altered by the story's events. The biggest question Night in the Woods asks the player isn't about any of its grand ideals. It's actually a really simple one. It's a question that we all ask every day. What do you want to do tonight? Night in the Woods stars May, a directionless 20-year-old and recent college dropout. She returns to her hometown of Possum Springs, a former mining town whose glory days have long passed. May has no plans, no real goals. She just wanders around town day after day. That's pretty much all Night in the Woods is. Each morning, May will wake up, talk to her mom downstairs, and then be free to roam around town as she pleases. During the day, the gameplay looks and feels like a 2D platformer with some exploration. It functions more like a visual novel. The jumping is in service of the talking. Possum Springs is filled with wonderful characters to talk to. There's Selmers, the stoop poet, Mr. Chazakov, the constellation-loving science teacher, Lori,
that guy's
the
great.
Teenage horror buff, Pastor K, the new minister in town, Miss Rosa, the old woman at the pierogi stand, Germ Morfair, the resident.
Oh my god, I love that old lady.
Many, many more. Each of these characters has their own story that plays out over the course of the game. May witnesses the small, incremental changes that come to pass each day. The characters will have new thoughts, new observations, new ideas of places to go and things to do. The player can interact with as many or as few of these characters as they want to. This is what happens each day in Night in the Woods. But things get interesting when the sun sets. When the player has explored all they want to, they can progress the story by talking to one of May's closest friends, Greg or Bee. Greg is an impulsive, loud, fun-loving punk who has been friends with May forever.
Yeah, Greg rules, okay.
More together than apart, that's for sure. He works at the Snack Falcon convenience store and, surprisingly, has not been fired. He lives with his boyfriend Angus, and their dynamic as a couple is a little hard to pin down. Maybe they're symbiotic soulmates. Maybe they're together because they're the only two guys in town that are openly gay. Bee is going through a lot. Her world collapsed before the events of the story. She's filled with resentment and hopelessness, but there's a light at her core. She and May used to be best friends, but they drifted apart as Bee's hard times got even harder. She works at the old Pickaxe, the local hardware store, and wants to quit, but it's her dad's business. She can't just abandon what little family she has left.
Currently trying to decide if I want to keep the wing arms.
And catches up. May asks about Casey, another member of the friend group. It turns out he hasn't been seen in a while. He hopped on a train and left town for good. He hasn't been heard from since.
I'll probably just put her in something casual.
And then they find a severed arm outside the restaurant.
And sip some tea.
Sets up many mysteries for the player to uncover. Why did Casey leave without telling anyone? Whose arm is this? What are all these embarrassing events people keep bringing up? What caused May to drop out of college in the first place? This first section of the game establishes these mysteries by leading the player from scene to scene. It's pretty linear, but once the second act begins, things get...
Colleen Hoover sounds familiar.
Night in the Woods is full of wonderful quotes.
I feel a vague sense of dread remembering that name, and I can't remember.
One of my favorite quotes, it's not my absolute favorite, but it's up there. Comes from
I know the name, though.
The second act begins. Friendships are like trees. You have to water them so they grow. And we each only have so much water. And later that night, the player has to water their first tree. After band practice, May is faced with a decision. Does she want to spend the rest of the evening with Greg or Bee? Greg suggests that they should do crimes, whatever that means. And Bee sort of wants to visit what's left of the shopping mall. May can't pick both. It's one or the other. Choosing one will naturally progress that character's storyline, but it will also lock away the other for good. Unlike the rest of Night in the Woods, which lets you see pretty much everything if you look hard enough, these hangouts are limited. On a single playthrough, the player will never know what Bee was up to if they choose to spend their time with Greg. Bee's life will go on without May. Up until this point, everything has been a story buffet. Take what you want, leave what you don't. This, however, is a full-on story branch. Kind of. In the second act, there are 3 Greg or Bee decisions that have to be made. The developers crafted 6 sequences, complete with tomfoolery, mini-games, hit you in the gut emotional scenes. But they only let the player see half of them. At this point in the story, the scenes that go unselected are the only 3 scenes Night in the Woods has explicitly forbidden the player from seeing. It's fascinating that this decision is the one that holds the most narrative weight. There's no limit on how many poems from Selmers you hear, or how many times you talk to Lori or discuss theology. There are a finite number of days, sure, but those days can be as filled or unfilled as the player sees fit. The nights, on the other hand, deliver an ultimatum. Which tree will you water? Which friend will be your best friend? You can't be best friends with everyone. You can't be everywhere every night. You can't experience all of life.
Very good video so far. Hold on. Even this screenshot looks familiar. What is this? Thank you for this baby, she says from the back seat. He's beautiful. I laugh. You're responsible for the beautiful part, Rachel. The only thing she got from me was his balls. She laughs. She laughs hard. Oh my god, I know, she says. They're so big. We both laugh at our son's big balls. Okay, sure. Alright. Interesting configuration of words there.
The choice between Greg or B doesn't seem like that big of a deal. The first time I played the game, I spent the first night with Greg, the second with B, and the third with Greg again. And in that time, May got into loads of trouble with her former partner in crime. The game has 2 ending tracks. If May has spent at least 2 nights with one of her friends, it will trigger a 4th hangout later in the story with that friend. It will also affect some scenes in the ending. There's a key scene in particular where the character who comforts May will be the one she has spent more time with. That being said, the actual events of the ending are the same for both tracks. The only thing that changes is which character May grows closest to over the course of the story. The game asked me which character I'd rather spend time with, and by answering the way I did, I got to learn all about Greg. He and May shared their grief and worries with one another. She found out about his relationship worries with Angus, how Greg loves him but worries that he's not good enough for him. Greg and May got up to their old habits, doing the things they used to as rebellious teens.
Crimes.
But things feel different now, as if making trouble isn't as much fun as it used to be. Greg wants to mature for his boyfriend's sake, but is that really true to who he is? May and Greg started the story as friends, and ended up even closer than before. But what about B? Well, I knew she had gone through some personal trauma. I knew that she wanted more than anything to go to college and escape Possum Springs, an emotion complicated by May dropping out for seemingly no reason. I knew that I was missing something, but in a way it didn't matter because May had Greg's friendship. After a few months of raving about Night in the Woods,
She's got kind of a pot belly, right?
Together. When it came time to choose
Yeah.
the hangouts, she picked B, Greg, then B again. The
I
exact
can't remember if I
opposite
had that in the
of
art fight one, but she
Greg.
definitely has a bit of a
I
belly.
got to see what would have happened if
If I was gonna
May
give her a
and B
pot
went to the
belly, she
multiple.
might look kind of
I got to learn
pregnant, but
about her struggles with her family, how lonely she is, how she feels like the world is passing her by while she has to stay put for reasons outside of her control, how she had to mature the most out of their friend group, something that makes May look even more immature by comparison. We got to the 4th hangout scene with B. The 2 of them shared their grief and worries with one another. They started the story as friends and ended up even closer than before. It was kind of a surreal playthrough for me, seeing the exact opposite scenes transpire. It was like glimpsing into an alternate reality. I already knew what would happen if May went to see Greg. I knew about his troubles, about his anxieties, about how lost he really feels behind his cheery exterior. But at the same time, I felt bad for not picking B in my first playthrough. I knew her situation was rough, but I didn't realize just how lonely she really felt. How much she needed someone, even if May isn't the most ideal someone for her.
I
This
figure out how to
decision,
make the
this
wings
common
do that.
question we've all been asked time and time again, is the most important decision in Night in the Woods. And it's not presented with any sort of fanfare. Choosing who May should hang out with isn't some trolley problem situation. It's just a question that everyone has answered at some point. What do you want to do tonight? My second favorite quote comes from Miss Rosa, the elderly woman who sits in front of the underground pierogi stand. May's grandfather
Doofus the
passed away
Floofus.
before the events of the story. He was someone May respected and looked up to. Miss
Mhm.
Rosa knew him before even May's parents were born.
I really
Whenever
like
May
hanging out
visits
with
her,
Angus
she's
too.
fed to another tidbit of lore from Granddad's younger days.
I love
After all,
going and
she
talking to
comes
this old
from a family
lady.
of troublemakers. The story culminates with an absolutely wonderful anecdote about May's grandfather vandalizing a mine boss's car, a story that not even her dad apparently knows. At the end of the tale, Miss Rosa says, "I wanted to pass this story along to you. It was one night, one thing he did, in a lifetime of nights and things he did. What you want to do with that is part of your story now." Night in the Woods has an underlying mystery. Possum Springs has secrets lurking in the darkness. But most of the game is just things. Scenes where not a whole lot happens. May tries to toss pierogies into Greg's mouth. B fixes a boiler. Germ meets some drifters. Lori hangs out by the train tracks. Selmer
Oh, right, her
strolls
legs go fucking backward.
These are just
God damn it. Okay.
things you or I or anyone can do. Things that don't really seem to matter. I'm not going to spoil the big reveal that happens towards the end of the story, but I have to talk about it a little bit. I have to talk about Casey. It turns out the friend who hopped a train and left town for good didn't do that.
Yeah,
He's been killed.
poor Casey.
We never pick no one who's gonna be missed. That's a solid rule. Drifters, drunks, and delinquents. All he was gonna contribute to society, except a bunch of kids growing up with no dad, was a rap sheet a mile long before whatever sat in he'd wind up at. We did him a favor. The scary part is, Casey isn't missed. The friends mentioned him in that early scene in the diner. A missing persons poster hangs by the entrance to the tunnel. Casey's avatar on the computer is still there, but besides that, no one ever mentions him. No one seems to care or even notice that he's gone. Even though May spends the entire game talking to townspeople, no one ever brings up Casey. Not former classmates, not the other kids, not the leaders in town.
Yeah, that's right. No one even talks about him.
And I can't help but think, what if it had been Greg instead? What if he had supposedly hopped on a train never to be seen again? His friends would miss him, but would Possum Springs miss a punk kid who smashes light bulbs and breaks into museums? Would Possum Springs really care if the grumpy girl at the hardware store stopped showing up to work? Would Possum Springs miss a directionless dropout roaming around town day in and day out? Would Possum Springs miss anyone? Would Possum Springs miss you? There's a feeling of
Yeah,
futility that
it's like even if
lingers
they assumed he
throughout
ran
these
away,
scenes.
it's like
Someone
no
like
one's
Patrick
like,
Hay, the new
man, I
minister,
hope that kid is
tries
okay
to
who
do
ran
his
away.
best what she can to help, only to be met with opposition. When Selmers performs her impassioned poem at the library, she does so for an audience of 4? It might as well have not happened, right? Possum Springs itself doesn't seem to matter much either. The mine shut down, there aren't any jobs in the area, there's not an art scene, no realistic future where the town thrives, only crawls along until its eventual
Right.
quiet death. But as May roams its streets, as she meets its inhabitants, we learn that it does matter.
Yeah, violent guy.
Even if someone like Selmers doesn't win a Nobel Prize for poetry, she's still able to create. She's able to get back on her feet after all she's had to overcome. Someone like Maria
Right.
might not become the next Cronenberg, but maybe she will make that horror movie someday. She'll keep trying. They all will. One can make the argument that for the bulk of Night in the Woods, nothing really happens. The characters don't spend the majority of the story trying to figure out why there was a severed arm outside the diner. Instead, that just becomes a weird anecdote in a series of anecdotes. Life goes on, and life can be filled with activities that don't really mean anything in a profound, life-altering sense. Yet Night in the Woods finds power in those small, everyday moments, and it does so through its narrative structure. These small moments build up over the course of the game. Choosing to spend time with Greg isn't a big decision, but by making that decision, May and Greg's friendship is forever altered. The things that didn't matter ultimately do. My absolute favorite quote in Night in the Woods happens in an optional scene in which May drags Angus along to go ghost hunting and, eventually, stargazing. Angus, a staunch atheist and skeptic, opens up to May about his past, his history of abuse, and the events that made him lose his faith. He sums up his worldview in a single sentence. I believe in a universe that doesn't care, and people who do. Possum Springs didn't care about Casey. That doesn't mean that no one did. I feel like we all have our own Possum Springs, places that are cold and uncaring, where everything seems meaningless and futile. But if you have a Greg or a Bee in your life, hold them close, treasure them, because they matter. You matter. As the credits roll, I can't help but wonder if the group of friends will stay in touch. What if Greg and Angus move? What if May gets the mental help she needs and becomes a growing adult? What if Bee is able to break free of her situation? Will they ever see each other again? Even if they don't, that doesn't change the fact that the time they spent together, the nights they spent raiding abandoned buildings, shopping for groceries, eating donuts, staring at the stars, they all mattered. These characters needed each other. May now has a best friend that she can hold close forever, even if they physically drift apart. And that friendship started by answering a simple question. In a way,
Yeah, it's a
doesn't
really good
matter
quote by
what
Angus.
happened yesterday,
He's cool.
what tomorrow may bring. For tonight,
I don't know how much he should be slutting it up here. Should a G-string be visible? I got her in like an off the shoulder, you can see a bra strap. Well, maybe not a bra strap because she's a bird and doesn't have boobs, but like a tank top strap. And like, I have her in cutoff shorts. I don't know, I'm just going based on vibes. There's the phases of the moon across her shirt. Okay, so probably not a visible G-string. A little bit of belly showing though, just a little bit. Yeah. I was like, how much of a party girl will she be in here? And this is just a sketch idea. If you want me to change anything about it, I can. Yeah, sure, I'll watch more of your videos. That is kind of difficult. Skipping is like such a weird movement. You can skip pretty fast too. You ever started like skipping really hard and just realize you're building up like a frightening amount of momentum? Or is that just me? I'm getting some of my rice pudding, getting it all the fuck over myself. Skipping downhill in San Francisco, where they got those like really, really steep. That sounds way too dangerous. My hand is cold. My drawing hand. I'm gonna like put it under my laptop to thaw it out a little bit. Extreme skipping. Freaking cross country skipping. Hydration check. Ugh. Hold on. Call that sports shipping, flight shipping. No, not skip rope. Oh, that does look kind of cool. The Double Dutch Championships. No, I mean like I forgot that some people call jump rope skipping rope, so that kind of messed up my search results. speed skipping. That's probably also gonna bring up, yeah. But I don't know. I'm still thawing out my hand. Skip running? Is that a thing? No, not skips from regular show. How to do A skip, B skip with proper form. Find your stride. Running drills. Okay. Let's see what this is. Oh. Put the knees all the way up there. Okay.
So just let it flow out of it, okay? Now let it flow. Run.
Okay. This looks like goofy as hell. It looks like someone programmed a robot wrong. But I mean, it would really work out those specific muscles. Okay, so with a B skip, you like kick the ground.
Now, again. Now slow down. Good.
Okay, so far I haven't found people just like skipping, maybe skip racing? But apparently people do use it as an exercise to get better at regular running. No. Who the fuck is Skip Barber? No. No, I mean like you're skipping, but like you're racing. Like, is that like... Damn it, Skip Barber! Skipping really fast. More of this again. Sure, I'll watch an I Did a Thing video about seeing if you can skip rope fast enough to
Skipping,
freaking stop
greatest
rain.
sport ever created. It's fun. It cuts your grass. It's portable. And best of all, it's relaxing. But the other day, as I was having my after...
Man, this is kind of a long one, so I'll put this one on first. Yeah.
Every Christmas I'm a very good boy. I put out milk and cookies for this guy to enjoy. But Santa never brings the right toy. I felt like giving up on all this holiday joy. But if you've seen the Santa Claus, you know you become Santa if you put on Santa's coat. You can kill him, leave him dead up in the snow. The elves don't even care about you murdering their bro. And so, this Christmas gonna be special to me. I ain't gonna ask for a car with a key. I ain't gonna write to Santa asking him please. Cause what I want for Christmas can't fit under the tree. I wanna be Santa Claus, so I'm gonna kill Santa Claus. When I hear those reindeer paws, I'm gonna break the law. Christmas, don't got a wish list, I got a hit list. And at the top of it is all Saint Nicholas. Nothing against him, it's just business. I ain't the Grinch, but I'm gonna steal Christmas. I made a list and checked it twice for all the fucks I give about ending Santa's life, and I found none. I'll travel.
He does some great videos. I don't usually watch his music videos, but I'll watch the videos where he talks about making the idea of it.
I'll never understand why this is.
They're my prisoners.
How do people not believe that Santa exists? In this world, aren't adults concerned about all these gifts they didn't buy? I wanna be Santa Claus, so I'm gonna kill Santa Claus. When I hear those reindeer paws, I'm gonna break the law. This Christmas, don't got a wish list, I got a hit list, and at the top of it is old Saint Nicholas. Nothing against him, it's just business. I ain't the Grinch, but I'm
Right,
gonna
look at
steal
poisoning the milk. This probably came about from one of his review videos of like bad Christmas movies or something.
To exercise shower, I slipped. And as I was lying there, I had a thought. Okay, before I attempt to see if I can skip fast enough to stop the rain, I'm going to do some very bad maths to figure out how fast I actually need to skip. So I looked up the average speed of a raindrop, which travels at around 10 meters a second and has a width of 3 millimeters, which is around 10,000 millimeters a second. And if the skipping rope
Right,
is 4
took on a
millimeters
wish
thick,
list. Just got a hit
800
list.
rotations a second to stop every drop of rain from hitting your head. And after doing a quick skipping rope test myself, I'm actually pretty close. With around 12 rotations a
Smack the
second.
fuck out of his
So
toe.
either I need to step up my steroid cycle or find another way to do it. And after looking online,
For horse
I found this
consumption.
Chinese kid who currently holds 2 world records. The first as the fastest jump roper
Yeah,
in
it's
the
that guy in
world,
those other thumbnails.
and the second
How
for the
the
most
fuck?
amount of ants killed in 30 seconds, managing to do 216 skips and kill 10,127 ants, which works out at around 7 skips a second. So I got excited and immediately sent him a message asking if he wanted to join me in the shower where I could pour water
Putting a
on him.
wolf guy
But
dancing
he
next to
never responded,
Maggie.
which means
Might make him
I'm
a
gonna
bit
have to
taller.
cheat
She is
and
very
make
short.
something much stronger than me and this kid. And I think I know where I want to start, with this cement mixer. And my idea is simple. I have this bent rod stuck in here with a skipping rope on one end so that when I turn it on, it acts like a spinning arm.
That does not work.
And that was crap. The rope didn't do a full rotation at all. It kind of just wobbles
Yeah.
in one spot. But after doing a little bit of research, I found this
You need a longer
strange
arm.
advertisement for a skipping rope machine.
Yes, the other
made
one has
for
a longer
children who are
arm.
either incredibly lazy or that have no arms.
Moving, get jumping.
And it works way better than my cement mixer, even though the motor is much slower and weaker, probably because the spinning arm that the rope is attached to is much longer. So I made this slightly scary looking
Maybe, yeah, I
arm
mean, it is a
and
college
attached it.
party, so.
Terrifying. It's pretty good. So take this face shield, put it on.
Keep to the beat. Jump, jump, jump it. Set your speed and take the lead. Jump, jump, jump it. With a friend, just shake and bend.
Okay, stop. Let's try faster. Just
Yeah, if you can get it to go under your feet twice while you're jumping, well, bro, why are you doing that barefoot?
Okay, ready? Set,
The
go.
people who do everything barefoot are on another goddamn level. Freaking Hobbit people, man.
And after the rope snapped and whipped me in the eye, I decided it was time for me to make it much
Oh,
faster
no.
and stronger.
Isn't
And after
May
reading a bit of the
Borowski
local
also
tool
kind of
shop,
short?
I found these. But more importantly, this.
I can
A
always change their
2,500
heights and
watt
adjust
pull
them and
gun,
stuff like
which
that.
spins at 2,800 rotations per minute with a 7-meter minimum.
May is
head.
going to be doing
My
sort of
head
like
is only
a...
around 40
She's gonna have her
centimeters,
knees bent
but
pretty
hopefully
far,
it
so...
should still work. So I just got a giant metal blade, drilled a hole in it, and attached it to the motor, which seems slightly dangerous.
Just a sword attached to a motor.
So I secured the motor to the table and piled up some stuff to make sure I don't decapitate a passerby, and turned it on.
If you hear me scream, come into the garage. Actually, you should probably stand away from that.
Yeah, Rocinante helped her. Sort of... She's freaking standing behind the thing just in
which is
case.
actually good for me, as it will increase my chances of being able to skip. And the blade also didn't fly off, which gave me confidence to see how fast this thing will go.
That's so terrifying.
I don't entirely know how I like to draw cat
And I
people.
didn't let it build
Because
up
they have
to
huge
full
eyes.
speed, as I didn't like it that the high-pitched noise it was producing was getting higher and higher and louder. But I'm happy with it, and decided I would attach some more things that can fly off and kill me. Like these bearings on the end, so that when the skipping rope is spinning around, it doesn't get tangled up. So I just clamped them down, then welded them in place. And I don't know if you've ever watched life hack videos on TikTok or Facebook, but they always
May
weld
does have
directly
nightmare
to the
eyes.
bearing when they're building their weird life hack cock and ball torture devices. So I believed it would work. But it doesn't. These bearings do not turn. And I think it's because the little balls inside must be arcing and then welding to each other. Which
Oh,
means
no.
I'll need to friction fit the bearings. So I cut out a small section of pipe,
Stupid
welded
idiot.
it onto the metal strip, then press the bearing into it.
Although I ain't gonna lie, I would probably also put it on my hand immediately, forgetting that it was very hot metal after having been cut.
Oh, come on! Which didn't work either. So I'm going to get even more janky, and I'm going to use these washers and some super glue to very precariously hold the bearings on. And I am dying to see if this will work. So I just poked through the rope and attached the other side to an anvil. And after giving it a spin with my hand, I reckon this might work.
Well, I reckon.
Kind of works.
But the sound is so terrifying. Bro, wear armor if you try to use that, man.
But I'm hoping it was just because the rope was turkey slapping the ground. So I pulled it back so that the rope is just above the ground and gave it another go.
3, 2, 1. That is much faster.
Which worked much better, but still nowhere near fast enough. So I reckon I can fix this by reducing the weight of the spinning arm with some wood. But because of the thickness of the wood, I've also had to cut the nut which holds the spinning arm to the motor in half, which really doesn't give me much confidence.
3, 2, 1.
It's just got like a little... Isn't the shirt just kind of like... I feel like the sleeves are ripped off, right?
That is so much faster.
And the wood spins much faster than the steel. But for some reason, as soon as I added the rope, it's slowed down heaps.
Yeah, I like watching this guy's videos. The channel is called I Did a Thing.
Why is it slower? And I'm wondering why it's getting slower. Because the wood is rubbing against the motor. I was like, why is this so hot as well? That makes so much sense. Okay, round 4. This time with a split in the
Do
wood.
the animal people do they have tails? I think they're usually shown as having tails, but like,
Okay.
she needs a tail for balance for
Up
doing
to
these
half.
weird moves.
So I think the wood is a bit too weak. But
Kind of a
I
short
ignored
tail.
my own advice and attempted to use the wood again, but this time with another washer to give the wood some support. 3, 2, 1. Whoa.
Oh, wow, Jesus Christ. Lost fucking visuals on the rope there. Oh, sure.
I cannot use wood. And after that great success, I decided I would go back to using the steel, but add another rope, so there is double the chances of it hitting the raindrops. And to do that, I need to attach the other side of the ropes to something that spins.
My shoulder started
As if it
hurting.
doesn't rotate, the
Might
ropes
have to
will get
adjust how I'm
tangled
sitting
and will
on
then
posture
pull
check.
themselves into the giant death blade. And I reckon these bearings which came off a Lazy Susan will probably rotate enough for that. But after a quick test, it's very obvious this Lazy Susan doesn't want to spin.
Eat some more pumpkin bread.
But then I had an amazing, revolutionary idea. Maybe I can invent a tiny palm-sized spinning device with a bearing in the middle that has 2 bearings on each side. So then you can hold it in the middle and it can spin freely. So I came up with a couple of designs and this one works the best. And I reckon if anyone watching wants to make a pile of money, all you need to do is mass produce these cheap in China and then sell them to children all over the world. Just get me in on some of the
God.
profits.
Great idea, man. No one has ever thought of this before. Looks like it would be great to fidget with because it
Okay, the palm
spins.
spinner idea seems to work. The rope is making a full rotation without getting tangled. But I'm kind of worried the 3D printed plastic will break while spinning at high speed and then the wires will come loose, creating the world's largest whippersnipper. So then I stacked up some more stuff to protect my family who are on the other side of this wall in case the whole thing flies apart. Then gave it a full speed test. 3, 2, 1. That work? Double rope? Now. And I am amazed. I've never made something that works first go before. And the high-speed camera confirms that the palm spinner is doing a great job of rotating and not tangling the ropes. But just like Paul Walker, I need
Right.
to go faster.
Kind of crazy
Nitride
nonsensey to get up to.
Aluminum. Aluminium.
This guy is just Rick Sanchez. Also, he's British for some reason, from another timeline. And then Rick is him from the future. In this timeline.
That worked really well. Maybe too well.
Is
At
he
point,
supposed to
as
be
I
an
think I almost
alligator?
turned it into a propeller.
How am I gonna do an alligator?
So I attached the metal wires, and luckily while doing that, discovered that the 3D printed palm spinner had broken. So I used the last of my skateboard bearings and created a new spinner out of aluminium and super glue. Now I'm ready for the final test before trying to jump rope fast enough to stop the rain. 3, 2, 1. And I reckon that's as fast as I'm going to get it. So I put some Loctite on the bolt of the propeller
Like,
to make
with
sure
the
that it wasn't
crest,
coming
it's
off.
like...
And then gave it a proper tighten. And then I grabbed some stuff around the house to make one of those stupid rain devices that every single...
Oh, did he have to cut out the... had to cut out the audio for copyright reasons, probably. Bee's mouth is always just slightly open, so... I'm gonna figure out the crust.
So now, hopefully, When I open this tap, the water runs through the hose into the bath, past his legs, down the drain, through the pipe, and then out the head before it falls directly onto this wire. And I was about to turn it on for a test, but luckily remembered that my yard is always filled with birds that fly around, and the last thing I want to do is create a magpie pie. So I decided I would just wait for night.
Maybe she does always have a cigarette.
I should have a go at skipping so we can get a comparison and see how bad I am.
Oh, it's gonna be so cold. Go.
It's like, I think you can see the rope moving the stuff around, but otherwise...
Cold and wet for nothing. But after looking at the high speed,
It is moving it's moving them, but it's just not fast enough to get everything.
was doing something and hit the rain, leaving a trail of mist, which gives me hope that the full speed test will create an air bubble force
Right.
field around me.
Frickin' poor
My original
bee.
intention was to attempt to skip in the middle of this machine, but after seeing what happens when it goes wrong and seeing what happens when it goes right, I'm not going to risk it. But Chinese jump rope kid, if you're watching, the offer's still open if you want to come smash your own world record. Okay, I decided to start with the shower setting, which most resembles rain. And at first glance, that didn't seem very successful either. But in the slow-mo, you can see that it definitely impacts more raindrops than before and creates a line of mist where the rope spins. And it does it especially well against the larger raindrops. So I changed the setting on the hose and gave it another go. And this is awesome to watch. I kind of feel like I'm watching a battle take place. Raindrops versus an insane man. And it doesn't hit often, but when it does, it's extremely satisfying. I was entertained for at least 3 minutes while editing, having fun betting on which raindrop is going to explode. It also worked slightly better when I used the mist setting. But not because it hit the drops, but because it creates a kind of circular airflow which slightly changes the path of the rain. But besides that is a complete failure. It stops maybe 1 out of 100 raindrops. But while watching the slow-mo, I realized something it is not a complete failure at. The giant lights placed directly behind the giant spinning wires means I've created the world's largest, most elaborate bug killer. Poor guy. Okay, let's chuck some stuff into it.
Oh, chop the banana.
Okay, this is what it did to the banana. Not very impressive. But the banana did this to the machine. This thing is so...
And that was also a waste of a banana. Thank you so much for watching. If you like that, please
You can still eat
subscribe
most
and
of
check
that
out some of
banana,
my
just
other
rinse it
stuff.
off. trying to like position my arms, like if I'm doing like the noodly arms thing. You can't really see what most of that motion is. Okay. Is beaver like a, is it like a, just like a, great. Not found out a consistent style to use for this, but I'll figure it out. Following a cookbook I stole from North Korea. And that's pretty impressive. The Nerf nuke. Can I remake those shitty mobile games in 1 hour? I'll probably gonna make a new folder. These are just gonna be each individual character. Everything about them can be changed later. Let me cram all of these into their own folder. Damn it. Not usually supposed to do this in the save file window, whatever. College party. Hmm? Mm.
Sup, losers? Uzi here, ready to yell and break stuff. And me, Pomni, your favorite mentally sound jester. Today is Black Friday.
Yep, she absolutely has it together and isn't
I don't
a
know,
complete mess.
as such, we've got some super cute items for you. Cute items? Try mega killer death items.
I'll send you these sketches and then let me know if you have
For this sick as hell and
any changes to just like their
Yo, fish is pretty awesome.
outfits or dance poses.
cool, but wait till you
Then I should also move them around into the positions I actually want them to be in.
What's our big ticket item? It happens. Kane! I want my thumbs back! You better not make me run on that wheelie thing or make me stuff my cheeks with those little red
The little
pants.
dog.
Pause your breakdown and finish your any idea how humiliating this is? Give me a tiny phone. I need to call somebody. This is ridiculous. What's with
What the
this
heck?
constant urge to dig?
I've got to do everything, don't I?
For this Black Friday, we got some dangerous killer digital circus items for you. Born of ancient horrors and gelatin, this squishy beast wants nothing more than to murder your whole family in cold blood.
A bit of an exaggeration there, mate, but I am squishy.
I don't want to be a hamster. I don't want to be a hamster. I don't want to be a
Milky, she's a hamster.
Okay.
I really like hamster pomni.
Murder drones, Matt? It's definitely not cute. It's, scary. And death. Yeah, totally wouldn't use this to play cute farming games or anything.
We beheaded a rabbit and turned it into a bag! The perfect place to hide all your agony and angst! And here, the rabbit's son, wide-eyed and trembling, watching as you fashionably strut around with his dad's head!
Still beats Kane's dumb adventures.
You're a dumb adventure!
And then there's this terrifying, nasty-looking robot statue thing.
You think I'm nasty?
Yes. I mean, no. I meant like in a nasty, gritty, metal, bodacious sort of way.
Bodacious.
Cool, okay. I'm not actually a statue, by the way. I'm just standing very still, and it hurts so bad.
And available only for a limited time, this vinyl spins with the tortured wails of the damned. Each note a scream of despair. Hell incarnate. Available only for a limited time.
And that's why you should never drink a giraffe's milk after Christmas.
Hey, look! A cute and cuddly robot plushie, perfect.
Yeah,
for
I
snuggling
really
on
like the
shoulders.
hamster too.
You think I'm cute and cuddly?
Ugh, that's super cringe. What are you
It's like honestly, if it was going, if they made it like keychain sized.
like you? I have a reputation.
Mm.
Like your puppy to try, baby pal. You're literally being a squishy baby right now.
You know what? Shut up.
You shut up. You shut up. You shut up.
You shut up.
Maybe I could put that one guy in here too, maybe.
I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm calling my lawyer.
Can I be turned back to normal now?
That is good. Putting this guy over here just in case it's like, what if this guy can also be here? The like gazelle dude B was hitting on. That would be pretty great. Yeah, first I just gotta get this, like, initial sort of composition post-sketch stuff down. Trying to get her to do a wave, but a bit smaller. I think I made her arms too big there. I don't want to be a hamster. I'm doing it my furry style. I gotta. Yeah. I like a planned, contained series that knows what it's about and, like, knows what it's doing. I probably have to condense the characters a bit more so these ones over here aren't all, like, far away from each other, so there'd be some overlap. Heck, how long have I been on? Oh, it's been over 2 hours, okay. I'm just having fun figuring out bad dance moves. I'm struggling to draw furries. Gangle was, can't remember which one Gangle is. I'm gonna just have to, like, every time a new one comes out, I'll just have to, like, maybe rewatch the previous ones. I can mostly remember what happened. The Mask? Oh, right, this, like the Tragedy Mask guy, right? Comedy/tragedy mask. Yeah, getting all sad because people kept saying she wasn't the real Gangle. Sipping some tea. Okay. Yeah, I also gotta head to bed. It has been 2 hours and 40 minutes, which is longer than I usually do, but... Okay, guys, the sketch is done. Yeah, glad to. You definitely have some of the more interesting ideas I've done. They tend to be really specific, but like, you know what you're about. It's fun stuff to draw, also an interesting challenge, because I don't usually, like, do a bunch of cartoony characters, so interpreting the cartoonier characters into my style is like, it's kind of a fun challenge, you know? Oh my god, I'm tired. Okay, bleh. Anyone still hanging out? This is freaking outro time. Okay, do your hydrates and your postures and your stretches and save your progresses and stretch your legs out and have a snacko and pat a cat or something and take your meds and all that other good stuff. Okay, good night.